So once you've removed your KO8 from the box and out of the bag, it's going to come in 2 sections. Make sure you keep the bag because that is how you make it portable. If you're going on holiday, outdoors, this is the thing for it. So from there, we need to make sure initially you have a really solid anchor point to attach your KO8 to. We don't want to be going around any flimsy branches that could break, especially if you're working with a client. It's not a good look. So from here, attaching from a high anchor point, wrap around like so. Once you have that range, we're simply going to take the strap through your ring like here. Then once we're in this position, we need to make sure, and this is vitally important, that we go through the back of the cam buckle, simply press it in like so, coming through the back until you have your desired length. Now the reason I say this, because it happens so often, is when people go through the front of the cam buckle from here. As soon as they start to apply a little bit of pressure, that's simply going to come out through there. So always through the back of that cam buckle and then simply feed it until you have your desired length. So once we have our KO8 set up, we adjust the height. Now for us, the majority of the exercise we're going to be coaching will be needing the handles just below the knees. That's the optimum height level for the majority of exercises that we'll be going through. From there, we can open out the foot cradles for exercises like tucks, glute ham raises, or even round the shoulders for your harness movement patterns. Once your KO8 is fully set up, we're now going to have the options. Initially is going to be suspension. This is for all your body weight exercises, holding your body weight in various positions. How we make it completely different is we can simply detach the big black carabiner, clipping that into the top D-ring, and now that opens up resistance mode. Resistance mode has got 4 levels. We can start off with the 3 blacks and 1 red, or we can simply reduce as we need to with the client. Now each black is 10 kgs of full resistance when we're at that end tensile range. The red is our lightest band, which is 6 kgs. So again, depending on your client's level of ability or as they become stronger, you can adjust wherever you need to.
So if you want to use your KO8 indoors, either at home or anywhere else, and you want to use an internal door or external door, just make sure that you set it up the correct way. So with this, we're going to go through the cam buckle, same way as we demonstrated earlier. Pull to your desired length, and then all you're going to do is find the polyresin door anchor. Okay, so this part of the KO8, which is included, you're going to take this, open the door, slide it over the top. Now as you close the door, make sure the door is secure. If it has a lock, make sure that's locked. And now pull until you feel the tension. Once it's here, again, try to slide as far to the hinges as possible. And if possible, find a door that doesn't open in this direction. Be aware that if you are working out at home, people who are also in the house know that you're working out on the door, and don't open it while you're in mid-session, okay? But from here, you can do anything that you would do on any other anchor point. If you want to go from high to low, same thing, slide it through the bottom of the door. Just make sure that whichever door you choose, if the gap underneath is too big, it might slide underneath. You might have to do other things to keep that secure or find a different option. So when you are going up and down through those levels of resistance, from the very beginning, get into good habits and make sure that if you ever are detaching any clips, do not leave them hanging like this. If they leave them hanging, especially if you're moving into any exercises, especially rotational ones, it's going to cause them to swing right and left. Very dangerous, especially if it's coming up and around the face and the eye area. So again, make sure if you're using them, they'll be clipped onto the bottom D-ring. If you're taking them away and you're not going to use them, get into good habits from the very beginning, day one. Don't be lazy, attach them to the top of the clip. Also to remember when you're working in resistance mode is that you're working with rubber. okay? You have to be mindful that you're not exceeding the safety parameter from the anchor point. Rubber will snap at some stage, and again, working with clients, that's not something you want to get into for your safety or for their safety. Now what we've got here is a red band with a sheath attached, okay? Now when this is at full stretch, the sheath will lengthen and become rigid. This will give you an indication that you're going too far away from the anchor point. If for any reason you're not working with the red band attached, and you're working, for example, just with the blacks, you are not going to receive this safety jolt, okay? So this is where you have to be very experienced, and you need to adhere to the guideline of 1.7 meters from the anchor point. Any working through within this range is completely safe. If you exceed that, then again, you're taking the rubber beyond its limits. So again, be mindful of the fact that, especially working with new clients who are not used to the equipment, make sure that you either cone that distance off or you stand there yourself as a coach. So now what I'm going to take you through is how to set up your KO8 into athlete mode. So using the harness, we're going to have to remove both sides of suspension. Nearly every time, we want you to make sure that this suspension strap and this black carabiner stay connected. This is the only time really where we'll go against that. So what you want to do is take away this clip from the strap. You can attach this temporarily to the other one. Now we're leaving you into a position where you can use this spare carabiner to connect both sides together, creating this kind of setup. All this is doing is bringing both sides together, which is going to provide more comfort and prevent more chance of them sliding off the body if they're connected in this way. This is not completely mandatory, but we found that it is more effective, and this goes down to your personal preference. Once we're here, we're going to take the handle, lift out the leather strap, creating a gap like this for you to either slide in arms or going through ankles. Again, once here, I'm going to show you a demonstration of how we can use this and get into the setup. We're going to slide both arms through, simply just as if you're going to put on a jacket. And now from here, you can work through any specific movement that you are, required to coach for that client. So there's through the arms, and again, simple as that. You can go through the legs, use around the hip or the ankles. Now don't forget, everything we've covered here in the health and safety is inside your instruction manual. So this is inside the box. This covers everything you need to know, from connecting to an anchor point, switching from suspension to resistance mode, getting into athlete mode, attaching up on a door. As I say, everything is inside here, especially on the back page, the health and safety tips. So don't forget to read this or watch this video. If you have to go back to it again, that's great. We want to make sure you're safe and your clients are safe all the time through using the KO8.